Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode 5 of the best performing podcast on the All In Network, Musish. You're joined, as always, by me, Gav.
And me, Ramsay.
And we're aided and abetted by our lovely producer, Mr. Chris Tarkor.
Hello.
How are we all?
Very good. Well, like I say, the best performing podcast on the All In Network.
And you can't argue with the fact.
We've done 5 episodes. We've come in the plucky young underdogs.
Yeah.
And we've taken it by storm.
Yeah.
You know, we're competing, not competing. We're friends with All In Good Sport.
Yeah.
But, you know, as a bit of playful competition, we're running the numbers against each other, just seeing, and we're coming out on top. And we're leaving Div and Get Started in the dust.
I was going to say the podcast that can't be named.
No, we'll name them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to us. People aren't listening.
Yeah.
We're winning. Well, people are listening, but...
I mean, the podcast's not out yet, is it? But
no, it's not. I think all 3 podcasts might drop on Friday morning.
yeah,
so lovely stuff.
So that'll be a proper competition.
It'll be a race.
You'll get a triple dose of All In, but as long as you listen... Well, you already...
So everyone
listening
listening now, make a new Spotify account, make a new YouTube account, and listen again.
Yeah.
All right.
Or just don't listen to All In Good Sport.
Yeah, because I think you might be on All In Good Sport today.
Well, I will be on All In Good Sport.
So
listen
probably
to my debut on All In Good Sport, but don't bother with Div and Get Started until we're on as guests, because they're horrible and mean. I didn't want to discuss this.
And talentless.
Wow. I didn't want to discuss
That's
this.
harsh. They've got no spine.
They are spineless.
They're spineless.
They are spineless. They're a spineless podcast.
Because Jess said that.
Yeah.
You got the reference, yeah.
Yeah, I listened to some of it. I don't know. I skip through. I skim.
Yeah.
I didn't want to mention this. We're off the back of 2 guest episodes. One actually with Div and Get Started. We kind of extended an olive branch. Let them come on, do a bit of a plug for their podcast.
Yeah. And next week
and they threw it back into our face. But last week we had Distance on. That was a good time.
Really good. Thank you for coming on Dissidents if you're listening.
You looked the opposite way to the camera then. You
looked at me at the screen.
No, I was looking at the screen. I'm
making notes of clips for your TikTok. Because I made 10 TikToks last night.
No way.
So I was like, I've not posted them. They're just for the LSR account. But
okay.
I was like, I'm in a TikTok grind set right now.
Yeah. I am going to go through and select some TikToks.
It would be it's worth doing. Yeah, I like TikTok. I did a TikTok of Jimmy Blackburn last night. It was him acknowledging his tribal chief. At
I've seen
Stadium.
that. Oh,
it got like 3,000 views. So I was like buzzing with that.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to get a TikTok started.
You went to a Headingley Stadium yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, I'll talk about it a little bit later with Jimmy.
Well, yeah.
But we were at Headingley Stadium doing the Varsity Press Day.
Yeah.
Which was really good fun. Actually, I didn't know though Headingley Stadium backs straight onto Headingley Cricket Ground. I didn't know that's how it worked.
So
they share a concourse.
So Headingley Stadium is what?
The rugby stadium.
Right. Okay.
And they share. You know, like in a cricket ground, when you walk through the concourse, and like normally you've just got like steps on one side to go up to where the seats are.
Yeah.
On the other side is steps down to the rugby ground.
Really?
It's
wow.
so cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So did you have a peek into the cricket ground as well?
Yeah.
Have you been to Headingley?
I've not. I've never been. So I'm really excited for the summer.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be great crack.
You can save that for All In Good Sport.
I'm taking notes. I'm going to steal all this and say it.
yeah.
Like I'll be like, did you know Headingley Stadium actually backs on to the cricket ground?
Oh, what?
Great stuff.
How's your day been? What have you been up to?
I had a lecture at 3. Went in there.
Exciting.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
we learned all about referencing.
That's the lecture where you don't learn anything, isn't it?
It's so useless, man.
Yeah.
We learned about referencing today. I can reference things.
I know. We're still learning about referencing. I'm like, surely everyone's written an essay by now and knows how to reference.
For an hour, we learn about how to reference things. You can Google how to reference.
Yeah, I know.
And it gives you a template of what you're doing.
Well, there's literally websites that reference for you. Like,
but you're not supposed to use them, are you?
Is that going against academic integrity?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I don't use them, but there are websites.
To be fair, the one that's really good is Zotero. If you add it as you can add it as an extension in your browser, and just literally when you're reading a source, you just tap a little button and it adds it to a bibliography.
Right.
Cool.
And then you just paste that in.
Bib Guru's good.
Yeah.
If you want a bit of academic advice, come to Musish podcast.
Yeah.
The other thing that annoys me is how many different referencing formats there are.
Oh yeah, there should be one.
For literally every different module, I have to do a different referencing format.
I think referencing is so outdated. This is a boring conversation.
No, it's not.
No, it's actually not. I'm really intrigued by
because
that.
everyone that listens is a uni student.
That's true. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, it's such an outdated system. I don't understand why I've got to follow a specific set of rules of how to reference something, and then if I get that wrong, I get kicked out of uni. Like, it's not like, oh dear, you did it wrong. It's like, no, that's plagiarism.
No, I
You've
do
broken the
understand
law.
it because it has to be a level playing field for
Well,
everyone.
I don't know why I can't just go, put in brackets the name of who wrote it and then the book, and then surely everybody's going to go, yeah, fair enough, or just drop a link to the website that I found.
A
it on.
link would make more sense.
Yeah, we're in
Yeah.
a
Being
we're
able
in
to
a,
use links in a digital, especially like for a course like mine where I'm doing it's broadcast journalism, so it's all digital.
Yeah.
all of mine are I obviously read a lot of theory and books for English lit, but all of mine are on PDF documents
Yeah.
that I could just drop a link in.
I've
And
got
you
a
can
question
click
for you
on it.
though. Like, what do you think of the way that we're supposed to write essays now, given that like, so for me, the big frustration is that I feel like when we're writing essays, a lot of it isn't your own opinion. It's basically just how well can you recycle other people's opinions and hide that they're theirs and not yours.
Well, my kind of style of doing that is I talk about somebody's opinion, and this is how you get the high marks. Talk about somebody's opinion, say this is what they said, and then interpret it in your own word. And I always end up criticising the person.
See, we do that, and it's just this is too much of your own opinion.
Yeah,
It's like, surely that's the point.
yeah, we get encouraged to do that. somehow.
It genuinely rattles
Something
me.
that
when
That's-
annoys
yeah,
me.
it's
Something
good.
that annoys me as well is that you criticise for having your own style of writing. You can't have any sort of personality in your essays. It has to be completely sort of dry.
Well, I think I was about to go on to what Chris said, but he's disappeared. He's coming for an M&M. Chris bought M&Ms for us, and he's left them in front of me and Ramsay, and now he's leaving.
Now
the
he's
room.
leaving.
Bye.
Those M&Ms are going to be gone.
Welcome back.
Should
You're
I-
right.
Do some ASMR eating.
No, that's going to sound horrible. Let Chris get back in the producer chair before you start eating into the microphone, because it might ruin everything. And yeah, what you said about broadcast journalism, having to not being allowed to put your own opinions in, that's ridiculous. Because like, surely as a journalist, you want to put a
The
bit
thing
of
is, so
opinion.
much of it's academic at the minute, so it's all about like the theory behind all of it, which is so fucking boring.
Yeah.
Like the journalism course this year has been dry. Like, I know next year a lot of it is a lot more practical, but this year is very much learn the theory behind it. But all the theory behind it's like fucking written in the 1800s and 1900s by like old white dudes, and I'm like, brother, you weren't writing when fucking Twitter was around.
This isn't relevant
Like,
to today. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
completely irrelevant.
Well, the module that I'm doing today, the useless lecture that I come to every Thursday before we record, is about like how to write, but you don't really do any writing on it. We just kind of learn.
By the time you get to uni, you should have your own writing style.
Yeah.
Like everyone
And you shouldn't be
knows
punished for
how
using
to
it.
write.
Do you think, and again, this is really like quite a debate, but do you think that the educational system almost sort of punishes individuality sometimes?
Definitely, yeah.
I think there's a move to change that though. I think.
But I think
I mean,
like,
with-
for neurodivergent students, I found in school it was really fucking hard.
Yeah.
Because I don't really operate in the same way that other people do.
Yeah.
So like I feel like that sort of sense of individuality
I mean, it
is punished a little bit.
it is difficult, especially at like secondary education, where there's so many people being educated in the same subjects. It's difficult to get that individuality because you need everyone to be learning the same things. Again, you need it to be a level playing field. So I can imagine in secondary education teaching, it's hard to accept individualism.
It's hard to give everybody a platform to kind of.
Yeah, but in subjects like music and English lit, I mean, you've got to be allowed creativity.
Yeah.
I think this semester, I've enjoyed it a bit more because our composition for this semester, we're allowed to do absolutely anything.
Well, you were just talking about your composition to me. Do you want to talk about that for a bit? 'Cause that was interesting.
Yeah, I spent 2 hours today in the music studio in the music building, basically whistling into a microphone and then slapping a load of reverb and delay on it, and it sounded amazing. And I did some sort of high pitched screeches and some.
Have you got any way of previewing that?
No, I didn't. Unless you want to go in the music building, but at some point you'll hear it.
Should we pull a heist and get your
But
composition out?
I spent 2 hours in it, and I wrote about like 3 seconds of music. So, and I think it's got to be like a 5-minute piece. So God help me, but it'll be all right.
3 seconds in 2 hours. So 20 times 2 is 40 hours. Times that by 5. 800 hours it's going to take you to finish that.
Yeah, but I got to move on now.
I think that was right. I don't know. I didn't do the maths there.
Yeah, we'll trust you there. You're an English student.
Speaking of yeah, cheers. Speaking of compositions, Tuesday at the Fenton we played 3 original songs.
Yeah.
Never before heard.
Yeah, it was very dead there.
It was.
There was no one
well,
there.
Jamnesty International was on that same day.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was, because a lot of people from Bandsock went to Jamnesty.
Yeah.
I didn't, because I was going to go, because I know a lot of people on my course were going. And I was like, oh no, I'll go to the Fenton instead, because we're all playing at the Fenton. Should have gone to Jamnesty, really. It looked like a good time.
Yeah.
Supporting a good cause as well.
The full band was not there. Rainbow, obviously.
Rainbow was obviously ill.
Yeah.
Mehul was also ill, or so we thought.
Yeah.
Too ill to turn up to rehearsals, not too ill to play with his other
Are we
bands.
slandering Mehul on the pod?
We're slandering Mehul on the pod.
Mehul played with. I saw a story of a friend of mine. I saw a story of him playing. Actually, I'll pull it up. I know where it is.
Because he played just before us.
He did. He didn't play with Radiator. He didn't play with Buick McCain. He played with his other one, which I'm really
with
sorry.
his 17th band.
Yeah, which I'm really sorry, but I can't remember the name of, because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
They're really good though.
They are really good.
Is that not the boy there?
Yeah,
Yeah, he does play guitar.
he
yeah.
plays guitar.
Yeah, that was from a day ago, but I don't know when that picture was taken.
Probably not.
No.
But yeah, that
No,
band that band are really good. They're very shoegazy, aren't they?
They are. They're really that they played an original song
Yeah.
that was really good. Then they did a cover of Love Will Tear Us Apart.
Yeah, that
So
was
I
really
thought-
good.
Maybe they played at thingy at the covers gig that we did.
Yeah,
So
they
that's
were.
how I'm going to learn the name. I am going to say
Were they Arctic Monkeys or were they?
no. They
Joy
were
Division?
Joy Division, which is why
That
they
makes
did.
sense, Yeah.
That's why they did the
Do 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 do.
Joy Division song. I should look at what band it is. Oh no, it was Radiator. I was right.
What was?
Yeah, it was Radiator.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah,
All right, cool.
yeah.
I got it right.
Cool.
He's just in a lot of bands, and they're all good.
They are good.
They are good,
He
his
is
bands.
he is a good drummer.
He's a very good drummer as well.
Yeah. Talking about good drummers, the Radiohead drummer, which I don't know the name of because no one knows the name of, but we are going to talk about Kid A.
Is this your segue into Kid A?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I tried my best.
So yeah, that was terrible.
So-
you were like,
That was horrific.
Yeah, I know.
You're normally quite like.
he's on
If
top
I'd-
of the segues.
If I'd
normally.
have known the name, though,
No, still it would have been awful because it's not relevant.
No,
Sorry.
if you'd gone talking about drummers, yeah, drop the name. Smooth transition.
yeah, but I
It'd be
didn't
cool.
didn't know the name, did I?
It's a
Before the
pretty sea level joke, man. Or not like that just
Segue.
ruined it.
Sorry, everyone.
before we started hitting record, about 30 seconds before, he was like, "What album do you want to talk about first?" And then he went, "Well, we'll just see what comes naturally, and we'll just segue it in." That was
that was my
that to
attempt.
him was naturally segueing.
Well, I certainly don't know the Pulp drummer, and
I
we'll
don't know
get
the
on to
drummer.
Pulp later. We'll get on to Pulp later.
Well,
but
before this week, if you saw our Instagram stories, you will know that we both came with 2 of our favourite albums
yeah,
of all
so
time.
going forward in solo episodes, we're gonna do it where I bring an album to Gav, Gav brings an album to me, both that sort of mean something to us or that we love.
Or that we hate. We could
could do
do
that.
one week where we bring something that we think is absolute dirge.
But I
and
prefer love.
I do prefer love.
Yeah, and it's easier to talk about love as well.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be such a good segue for what we've got coming up later.
Sorry,
That'd be really
I
good.
can say it later if you want.
Yeah. Stay tuned for that.
Right, I don't have any notes on Kid A because I don't need to have notes.
Well, this is the album that you chose. This is obviously an album that means a lot to you. Talk about it. Talk about what it means to you. Talk about why you love it.
Well,
While I sip some water.
Radiohead mean a lot to me.
I didn't know if I was allowed to sip water next to the mic. I didn't
Yeah,
want
of
to
course you can.
That's why I muted you.
Hydration is innovation. That's a little gem for you.
Just talk about the album, man.
Okay, sorry. We're sponsored by Air Up. Yeah, I remember listening to Kid A maybe
We're not sponsored by Air.
maybe 2 years ago on a bus journey for the first time. And the album's about 50 minutes. The bus journey was about 50 minutes. And
Ideal.
Yeah, very ideal. And I remember being absolutely blown away by it, sort of mind blown. Because I'd listened to Radiohead, like I'd been a fan of Radiohead, and heard some of the songs from Kid A, but never as a full album. And this is an album where you have to listen to it as a full album. You have to listen to it start to finish, and you also have to listen to it with good headphones on because which you don't have.
Which I
access to.
didn't do. I'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, because Radiohead did something completely different with this album. Before this album, which came out in 2000, there'd been Pablo Honey, The Bends, and OK Computer. 3 albums led by guitars, led by quite heavy guitars. All amazing albums, all albums that I adore. But Kid A was a completely different thing. And Tom York wanted it to be completely different because people were basing their sound on Radiohead, and they wanted to create a new sound that couldn't be repeated. And so Kid A was made, and it's very electronically based. There are some guitars on it, and the music is just incredible. Thoughts, Gavin?
Would you say it's that different to OK Computer?
Very different, yeah. Very different.
It's different,
There's
Definitely.
barely any guitars on this album. OK Computer's all guitars.
but I think the jump between the Bends to OK Computer, I haven't listened to the Bends in full.
No, the Bends and OK Computer are they're different, but they're both guitar based, and you can tell that they weren't doing that much different in those 2 albums, whereas this is just a complete shift.
My thoughts were, now, I want to be completely objective here.
Objective.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to be fair to this album, but I want to be fair to music in general. So I have criticisms and I have praise.
Start with your criticism.
So I don't-
to end on love. To segue.
Okay. I don't want to cause a lot of brouhaha.
Can you
about
get the
all
track
of
list
this.
up, please, as well?
I've
Thank
got it
you.
up on mine as well. Yeah, I don't want to cause a lot of brouhaha. Don't want to cause conflict. Don't want to cause hurts.
Yeah.
But I did like this album a lot. I enjoyed listening to it. There were some points where I thought, I kind of want to just listen to a song here. And instead, I'm listening to like 3 minutes of just repeated ambient synths, which I don't care for. For what they are trying to achieve, I see you reaching for the microphone. For what they are trying to achieve, they do a very good job. But that isn't necessarily what I want to be listening to.
Which track are you talking about?
I'm
here?
talking-
Are you talking about Tree Fingers,
I'm not talking about Tree. I really enjoyed Tree Fingers.
which is just ambient noise?
I didn't enjoy Tree Fingers. I'm looking at it now. I didn't. I enjoyed Optimistic.
Yeah, I thought you'd enjoy Optimistic.
Everything in its right place, leading into Kid A,
It's
sounded
just-
fantastic.
Yeah.
They sound good, but they didn't interest me.
You just listen to right. So Gav doesn't have headphones. He
I am at
he
the minute.
He has a phone speaker which he listens to music on.
No. I put my phone in my headboard. We've discussed this, and it makes it a lot louder. But if I'm out and about, what I'm doing at the minute is I'm solo AirPodding it right here, which is how.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Which, in all fairness, is how I listen to Kid A. We got into this studio early because Chris makes us do that, and Ramsay put his headphones on me, and I'll admit, when he played Everything in Its Right Place, it sounded better. I'm still not interested by it. I'm enjoying it, and I'm feeling things, but I'm not that bothered.
So this is going to be the problem with albums that we love because I'm just so hurt by this.
Yeah, this is why it works.
Yeah,
But
this is like Different Get Started. Sorry, the podcast that can't be named.
don't say that. Don't say
Yeah.
that. But
We'll cut that.
yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
cut that. We'll cut
Of course
that.
we will.
Remember to cut that, please. If this goes out and I hear this, I'll fume. And I was like, oh, I'm going to hate this. Ramsay's going to be really annoyed at me. But I thought that those 2 albums were, to use a bit of vocab here, really those 2 songs, were the titty nope of the album, which is,
You could say
Can we
say it was a bit of cattywampus.
could we Google the definition of titty nope and see if I'm using that right?
The
Because
definition of titty nope is
that's a word I learnt today, and I think it's
I
fantastic.
wonder why you
a
used that
small
word.
amount left over, a modicum, so like a little bit.
But it could also be like the dregs. I thought these
Yeah,
were
like the dregs, yeah.
These weirdly at the start of the album were kind of the dregs of the album, where I was like, if I listen back to this album, or I thought about this album, I'm not going to think about everything at the right place. I'm not going to think about Kid A. I'm going to think about things like Idiotech, or I'm going to think about things like Optimistic.
See, I knew that you'd like the second half of this album more than the first, because the second half of the album is where it becomes a bit more sort of rocky.
Yeah, which is more my thing.
And this first half of this album, I think, is leaps and bounds beyond the second half. I love the whole album, obviously. I'd like your thoughts on motion picture soundtrack.
Motion picture soundtrack was unreal.
Motion picture soundtrack is probably my favourite Radiohead song.
It was absolutely incredible.
Maybe in my top 5 songs of all time.
Yeah. I loved it. It made me feel a lot.
Where it breaks and then you get that like chime or whatever it is, and it just,
like a stage play kind of.
If you had good headphones, it just washes like between.
I was walking back from work last night when I listened to it, and I was on an empty street, and there were lights around me, but it was still kind of dark. And then that played, and I was like, oh, it was like a return to like zero.
Yeah.
It was great. It was like decompression, and then that leads on to Untitled seamlessly, and it was like. That is another one that's, there's no words or anything like that. It's just like 40 seconds of just synths. But that, I liked that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That made sense. That kind of ended everything off and finished it.
The most well-known song from this album is How to Disappear Completely.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that one?
I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
I did.
That's the most songy song. Do you know what I mean?
I don't have as many opinions on that as I do some of the other songs. I just thought it was fine. I enjoyed it.
The string arrangements, which I am assuming are written by Johnny Greenwood, who's a guitarist, are amazing on that track. I know the lyrics are very personal to Tom York, about sort of just mental health things that he was going through, and there's a big sort of break in the strings, and then. Sort of, it's not a fade in, but it's sort of this wash, this major chord that sort of washes in, and that's like that everything's going to be okay. I've watched interviews where he's talked about it. I just love that song. Yeah.
I think Tom York was interesting on this because I like Tom York's voice. I like the way he sings words. I think he makes words seem important, especially when he's talking about a lot of the kind of dark subjects that Radiohead touch on a lot. But there was for me, this album felt like trying to kind of play around with what you can achieve when you're using technology on the human voice. So this is probably this is around just before auto-tune's really starting to take off.
Yeah,
you've got a lot of early 2000s to early 2010s. That's really like the kind of prime. He keeps leaving.
Which means we have more M&Ms.
Yeah, that's kind of like the prime... he's completely distracted me. I think he's gone to the toilet. That's like the best time for auto-tune. Everybody's using auto-tune.
Yeah. I think that's the other thing with this album, which is mind-blowing to me. It's just... Came out in 2000, so electronic music had been about during the late 80s, 90s.
I'll go back onto my point when you're finished, by the way.
Were you not done?
No, I wasn't. No.
Well, I'll finish my point.
Yeah, you finish yours. Don't worry.
There's just so much going on electronically, and the amount of time it must have taken. I don't know when they started recording it. I'm eating M&Ms while I'm speaking.
Don't do that. Speak and then eat.
I'm just a glucose addict. Yeah, it's just for how early it is. It's just a masterpiece electronically. Yeah. You return to your point.
I mean, it's so autotune's kind of just starting to kind of make rumbles. Not really the right word to use there, but it's starting to kind of influence things, but it's not really at the stage that it is going to be at a few years after this album. But it kind of feels like they want to see how they can change the human voice with technology, and I feel like they kind of Tom York tries to make his voice sound like a machine.
Yeah.
There's in Morning Bell, there's a lot of repetition. He kind of makes his voice sound like he's echoing himself. And I think that's interesting, but I don't know if it's what I want to hear. I want to hear him. I cared more about the songs where he had a distinct voice, he was a person, compared to all the electronic stuff.
Yeah.
And
And
he kind of broke out and he was saying, like, the lyrics in Optimistic, which felt like kind of a rejection of what Radiohead's become up to this point. You know, the depressing, you know, I'm a creep, I'm a weirdo, all this.
Yeah.
But
That is a very upbeat track.
he's taught everything's going to be okay or something like that, he says. And, yeah, I cared more when he was kind of, he kind of touched into his more human side.
Yeah. I think another thing of note is that Amnesiac, which came out a year after this in 2001, they wrote all those songs at the same time as this. So basically, Amnesiac are the rejects of Kid A.
Is that a good album?
It's an amazing album.
Oh.
I mean, to be honest, Radiohead don't make bad music.
Yeah.
Chris just gave me a big glare.
Not a glare, a questioning look.
I'm not familiar with a lot of Radiohead songs. I only really know the big ones. So I was worried coming into an album that I'm going to hear the ones that aren't so big. And, you know, you're not like your Fake Plastic Trees, your exit music for a film, your Justs.
Yeah.
But,
Well, what I was also going to say is that the sound of this album was the sound that Radiohead sort of became after this. When it gets to Hail to the Thief, there's a bit more sort of, it feels more like a band, and in Rainbows is more of a band feel as well. But they definitely, this
that's
has,
the one with Weird Fishes on, isn't it?
yeah,
I like that.
this album definitely had a part to play in the change of Radiohead sound, for not better or worse. I think
For just different.
just different. And I tell you what, Gav, I love this album. You know what else I love?
I'm not finished. I have things to say.
Can't do that to me.
I have things to say.
That was such a good segue.
I liked. We'll go back to that. I liked the kind of seamless changes between some songs. So Optimistic into In Limbo.
Yeah.
That was unreal. I was like, this is so cool. But then there's another. I think it may be in Idiotech into Morning Bell, combined or something like that. And I didn't care about that. That kind of. I was just like, well, that doesn't really need to happen. One of these could just end
Yeah.
and move into the next one. Little last minute notes on Morning Bell. I don't know why I'm slagging Morning Bell off so much. It wasn't that bad. But when he says, "Where'd you park the car?" he says it in a Boston accent. I want you to go back and listen to it. He doesn't say that in his normal. He's like, "Where'd you park the car?"
Okay.
He says it like Lois Griffin.
listen
It's
out for
great.
it.
And yeah, little Ice Age reference on Idiotech.
So what
Ice
would,
Age coming,
what
which
would you,
made me think of the film Ice Age, and I like the film Ice Age.
Yeah, shout out to Jess for a great impression.
They left without me. I do this every year.
What
Leprosy, like.
are you giving this album out of 10?
I'll give it. I'm worried what I'm going to say 'cause she might hit me. No, I'm going to give it a 7.5.
Yeah,
Fight me.
I'll accept that. No,
Go on,
and
7.5.
I'm giving it a 9.6.
Yeah. My criticism is let Tom York sing. Let him do it. He's good at it. He's been doing it for ages. He knows what he's doing. And also, I forgot to mention this, the drums coming in the song called Kid A, even though I didn't really like that song, that was cool. I liked that.
Yeah, my only criticism is that the jump from Tree Fingers to Optimistic is just like I can't fathom it.
Into It is a bad song into a good song, for me.
Oh yeah, you didn't like Tree Fingers.
I didn't like Tree Fingers at all.
I like them both, but it's just such a huge transition. I guess it might have been intentional, but yeah.
So you love this album?
I love this album. Do you know what else I love?
What do you love, Ramsay?
You.
Thank you,
And
Ramsay.
we're gonna
I love
we're gonna
you
ask
too.
some questions to see why we love each other
Well,
or whatever.
that's not what this is.
Okay.
That is not how the game works.
It was an attempt at a segue.
There are
It worked really well. First 75%, brilliant.
Yeah.
Superb.
There are
Exemplary.
failed at last hurdle.
there are some experts in couples and family therapy who have devised 36 questions, not specifically for us, just to use in general,
But in this podcast,
but it helps for us.
It will be for us
And I think
because me and Gav have a very intimate relationship.
emotionally intimate. I was thinking about, there's a lot of conflict today, especially in the All In network. We have Div and Get Started, who have come in like the angry youngest sibling who's just causing havoc for us, the older sibling, and for our parents, all in good
I was
sport.
going to say, where do we slide?
Yeah, you're our parents.
Fine, delightful.
And
Jimmy Blackburn's such a dad.
Jimmy
that works.
Blackburn is my dad.
Yeah.
Like he's
I think Jimmy Blackburn's everyone's dad.
we're writing the adoption papers.
Yeah,
he
for
will be
sure.
my dad. I haven't told.
He's coming on the podcast next week.
He is coming on the podcast.
With-
him
with
and Proddy
Prodford.
K. No,
Yeah.
not Proddy K. Proddy K's already on it.
That's special K.
Prodford.
Oh, are they both coming on?
Yeah.
Has Rainbow not had an invite?
He's
Well,
going to
like-
do the band one eventually.
Fine.
Yeah.
And also,
We
he
could
can't-
have him on
he can't
both.
hear.
Oh, true.
Well, he is doing all
He's
he's
doing,
doing
yeah.
later, and he did the radio show on Tuesday. He can hear.
Okay.
Maybe we'll just get him on. We'll figure it out. But yeah, they've obviously got a lot of conflict in their podcast. That's the basis of their podcast, and they have podcasts with.
Different get us started. We're talking about
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have conflict in their podcast in that they argue. That's the whole point. They have conflict with us. Our podcast isn't about conflict. Our podcast is about love.
Yeah.
And I want to get to know you better, and I want to love you more.
Peace and love, man.
So we have 36
dude.
questions to fall in love. These questions apparently build intimacy. We have a random number generator.
Have either of you done them before?
I've looked through them, yeah.
But have you done them with someone?
I've never heard or seen of this.
Well, you're about to get your mind blown because it starts off.
We'll be shagging on the floor in a minute.
It starts off quite light.
I've never seen a silence that long on any of the podcasts, by the way.
Sorry, I was just thinking about it. It starts off quite light with like, what's your favourite thing to do or something like that. And then like towards the end, it's like, what's one thing you wish you could have changed about your childhood and things like that. Like it gets deep,
It's
man.
really good.
Okay.
Like this, there might be.
So it gets progressively more deep.
Yeah. So when we do this random number
I don't
generator,
think we should do the random number generator.
No, I think we should because that's going to add a bit of interest. When we see a big number come up, it's going to be. It doesn't get progressively more deep. To be fair,
No, it's a bit of a mixture throughout.
there's some in the first
Okay.
one that are more deep, but like that's kind of the general rule.
Should we do 6 questions?
Go for it. A sixth of the test.
Would you like a random number then?
Let's hit with the first random number.
30.
30.
30. Oh, that could be deep.
We should say
Question
if
number
there's
30.
anything that you don't want to. I don't know if
Ooh.
this might bring up any. Oh, we've had a discussion about this. I don't know if this might bring up any hard feelings. If
When
there
did
is,
you last cry?
I'm telling.
Hang on. Let Gab
Yeah.
do his disclaimer. This is good.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I don't know
sorry.
if this is going to bring up any hard feelings. If it does, you don't have to talk about it. If it does for me, I've seen these questions. There's nothing for me that I probably won't want to talk about, but maybe it'll be different on Spotify. And then obviously for people listening at home, we don't know what the question's going to be. We can't warn you, but if you hear
I
something,
would just say, like, yeah,
If you hear-
a little trigger warning, basically.
yeah, just watch with discretion. If you hear something that you think this might upset me, maybe skip ahead a little bit. Come back to when we talk about something else.
That was really good. I
Just
enjoyed that.
we care about the fans.
Yeah.
We just want to let you know that.
And I think we should just be truthful with it.
I think we should, but there's no point
I
lying.
don't think we should joke around.
No, I think we can.
Otherwise, there might be
Well,
some
we can joke around.
defenestration.
Good word.
Great word. Great word. Well, Ramsay,
Who
let me
gave
ask
you that word?
Jess.
Ramsay, let me ask you this. I've used both my words, and I got a challenge in.
Your word was the titty one.
Yeah, and brouhaha.
Yeah, I assumed it was.
And then my challenge was to do an impression of Sid the Sloth, and I did all of those within half an hour.
That's quite
really
good,
impressive. Yeah.
Ramsay, let me ask you this. Question 30. When did you last cry in front of another person by yourself? We actually spoke about this.
Did you put that in bold, or is that already in bold?
That's already in bold, funnily
That's
enough.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I know the answer to this.
No, you don't, because
You've cried since then.
Since when?
Since the thing we've just before we
Yeah, but
hit
that's not
record.
in front of another person.
Oh, right. Well, just general.
Oh, well, by myself was last night.
It was.
I was watching Emma Stone's Oscar speech, and she was crying, and I was crying, and I felt an emotional connection with Emma Stone.
Sure.
One which we'll build upon.
A very parasocial connection. Ramsay, we should say, as far as I know, Ramsay's fine. Like he's not.
Yeah, I'm just a serial
He
crier.
cries a lot.
I do.
He's
cry a lot.
okay.
Yeah,
like
I'm fine at the moment. But the last
It is good to cry, to be
yeah,
honest.
It
I
is.
I
Get it
enjoy
out, man.
crying. And last time I cried in front of another person was probably my mum. When I was going through some stuff at Christmas. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing for me, in that we're very different. I can't remember the last time I cried. It was definitely before uni. I've not cried since getting to uni. And I don't know when it was.
Well,
I don't cry very much, and I think maybe, I don't know if that's, I don't think that's a good thing or a bad
Are
thing.
you quite an emotionally guarded person, would you say?
No, I don't think I am.
Were you
Just the
b- were you-
physical act of crying. I'll talk through my emotions. I'm not going to hide them from people. But
were you brought up like in a friend group where crying would be like deemed as being a bit sort of?
no, we had a mate. I mean,
Feminine
even in
or
primary,
something.
we had a mate who used to cry all the time. He used to cry. We did.
But primary's a bit different.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean, in, like, secondary
he
school.
cried every single day for a week. We had a chart. On the last day, we were trying to make him cry, man. We wanted to keep the streak going.
Like the Undertaker at WrestleMania.
But yeah, I don't think I've ever been in a around a group, not in my family and not in my friends who've not been like. Nobody's ever seen crying as a bad thing.
Yeah.
Get it out, man.
Yeah.
I just
If
haven't.
in doubt, get it out.
I knew when I looked up you were going to be looking at me. I could sense that.
I
coming.
didn't even mean it like that.
What?
I didn't say pull it out. Or what?
talking
Right,
about crying.
random number generator. That was a good one. I liked that one.
That was. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
That was 1.
26.
26. Don't have to scroll very far for this one. Complete the sentence, Ramsay. I wish I had someone with whom I could share. Oh, Chris, do you want to join in on this? I
thought you two were falling in love.
Yeah,
yeah, fair enough.
We can't do it
Yeah.
three-way.
I mean, I can.
If you've got anything interesting to say,
Yeah.
We're not like the Tiger King. Wait, did you ever watch that?
I
Tiger
loved
King?
Tiger King.
Yeah, he was in a three-way marriage, wasn't
He was.
he? Yeah.
The guy shot himself, didn't he?
What, Tiger King?
No, the younger guy in that 3-way marriage shot himself
No.
while
way.
they were filming
mean,
the
I would.
documentary. Did you remember this from the documentary?
I didn't watch the documentary. I saw it on Gogglebox.
Oh right. Spoiler alert for Tiger King if you haven't watched it. If you haven't, it's not 2020 anymore. It's not worth watching anymore. It was only
Yeah.
good when we were all in lockdown. I bet if I rewatched that now, I just go, yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
But in lockdown, we all went on something to do. I feel like Tiger King, why that did so well is because it kind of created personal connection in that everybody was watching this.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was like something that you could go, have you seen Tiger King? And they'd be like, yeah. And you just talk about that. But there's this, so they're interviewing this guy for like 3 or 4 episodes. Like he's a big part of it. And then they're talking to, I think it's Joe Exotic's lawyer, the Tiger
Joe
King.
is okay. Yeah.
His
What a
lawyer
name.
was sat in a room with his younger lover, and this younger guy, I don't know his name, used to carry around guns a lot
Okay.
and used to like pretend to shoot people with them. And the guy was like, "Yeah, that makes me really uncomfortable. Can you not pretend to shoot me? Because like you might kill me."
Yeah.
Which I think's a fair request.
Yeah.
And he was like, the fella was like, it's fine. It's not loaded. The safety's on, whatever. I know how to use a gun. Thank you. Watch, turns it around, shoots himself in the head. And it was caught on CCTV and they show it in the documentary, which isn't funny, but
No.
I know how to use a gun. It's fine.
Hmm.
It's not funny, but
Yeah.
all I'm saying, man, like,
I'm not sure we can. Not sure we can joke.
no,
that.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you're an idiot.
Right. Okay.
He's not.
Complete
Well,
this
obviously he's not listening.
Complete
Nobody
this sentence.
involved, nobody who knows him was listening.
Complete this sentence.
I wish I had someone with
Eee.
whom I could share.
A life.
Ah, wow,
Thank you.
that was emotional. Do you want to elaborate?
Well, I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Well, no, I was just.
I'd like to be in a long-term relationship at some point.
There we go.
Yeah.
I wish.
I do think that is the best part of a relationship, like just sharing everything.
Yeah.
Like having someone to just chat to all day is
Yeah.
great crap.
I wish I had someone with whom I could share.
A bed. I think that was the first answer that came into my head, but
That was the one that came into mind.
yeah, but I think I'd rather.
Not even on a
I'd rather have
on
a
a
long-term
sexual front, just
relationship.
like
Mine was
company's good, man.
Mine was secrets, but
I like
that's not
spreading
what I
out.
mean. Share conversation. Just somebody you can talk to. I don't know why I pointed specifically
I was
at
gonna
you
say
for that.
Thanks. God.
We can talk if you want.
Well,
man. I mean, we're recording 2 fucking podcasts today. We're going to be talking. We're going to be sick of each other come 9 o'clock at night, or whatever it is we get out of the studio.
Share a conversation. That was your
Share
answer.
conversation, yeah.
I think, but you converse with.
But share
converse with people every day, don't you?
share a life is kind of in a similar vein. Just
Maybe
sharing,
meaningful conversation.
yeah, or with someone who I could share time.
Yeah. Okay. Lovely.
This is really nice.
This is really nice.
Do you know what?
Apart from the Tiger King chat.
I don't know what it is about this podcast today. We've been really nice to each other.
Yeah.
We've been very.
We'll wait till we get onto Pulp.
We've been very kind of politically correct. We've done disclaimers. We've done trigger warnings. Yeah,
We even came into the studio and we were having like philosophical debates. And
we
stuff.
were.
Yeah.
We were.
What's
Do you
what's
think you're
happened to
growing
us?
up?
I think we've already grown up. I think you
Do you
need to
think-
catch up.
Do you think no? But I think. Do you think this is like the peak?
What I think it is now that we know that we are the most popular podcast all on the network, we have to put up a good
For reference,
front for the
you're
network.
not.
Well, it's just yesterday you said we were.
No, you've got one of the most highest viewed videos, but
Good
that's
enough for me.
that's still not in. That would only be third in our top 3.
Yeah, but on average, because you've got
On
more
average, we
episodes.
also average more than you. Like respectfully,
I'll,
we've
I
been
mean,
doing it longer.
you could have told me that.
Yeah, but
before
I
I
wanted you
did
to.
all
I
of
wanted
it.
you to.
Per capita.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what that means, but yeah. What was your question, Krish? Because I liked that one.
I don't know.
You asked a really good question.
Are we growing up?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. We're growing. We're certainly growing up.
Do you think you're always growing up?
I think
though?
you're always growing
Yeah.
up. I don't think you're ever grown up. Yeah, I don't think you ever
no.
stop growing as a person. And if you do, you shouldn't. You don't get complacent.
I think it's a tricky one, but I think you get to a stage in life where you're completely comfortable with yourself, with your life, and then you start growing down, where you start to become more childlike because you feel so comfortable in your own skin.
Well, I think
I'm not at the stage of being completely comfortable with myself yet.
I think there's a point where you could be. I don't think anybody is, but I think hypothetically you could be absolutely perfect at the current moment in time that you're in. You couldn't be better as a person. You know, you've fully achieved everything you want. But then the world changes. You can't stay the same.
Yes.
You could be perfect for
Really-
somebody
yeah,
in
really true,
2024, but that doesn't mean anything in 2050.
Yeah. And I think the main thing for me is just to go about life enjoying it. And I do adore life. I love living.
Living's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is good.
It's
It's good fun.
when I get out of the house in the morning, I'm just like, I can't wait to
That's always.
live the
Do you know
day.
what? Sometimes I'll wake up and I'll open my eyes and I'll be lying in bed and I'll just be thinking, do you know what? I'm having a good time.
Do
Here.
you know what I've
I'm just chilling. I'm alive. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm good. I've opened 2 presents this morning. My eyes.
Wow. that's another gem.
That's a clip.
No, I like
Scowling
that.
at me.
You know what I've started to do as well? I wake up. I don't jump out of bed. I take a bit of time.
I do. Yeah.
But
No,
then
you can't jump out of bed.
when I
man.
get
You're not late.
when I get out of bed, I open my curtains
Yeah.
and I get sunlight in, and I think it just sort of gets you ready to
Sometimes.
exist in the world.
Sometimes I don't even close my blinds because I'm fairly high up in that nobody can see into my room.
Yeah.
So I can just leave my blinds open and then I can awake to the sunlight coming through already and I don't have to go and open the blinds.
This podcast is beautiful.
This is wondrous.
This is a piece of art, this podcast.
This is really nice. Actually. I was going to say on that front, I sleep. Sometimes when I sleep, the sun's already up.
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah.
different for you, isn't it?
This morning I slept when the sun was it was light outside.
To be fair, I might change my habit when it starts to become summer and the sun starts rising at 5:30 in the morning. Then I think I can
Yeah,
foresee
yeah,
problems with my system.
Right, number 4. We did a random number.
Well, this
didn't
is number 3, but number 4 on the list.
we? Yes. What would constitute a perfect day for you?
Now this is interesting. Does it mean
Can I just do an unbelievable segue
it's Lou Reed? I don't.
to talk about a film that I absolutely adore?
Oh yes.
Talking about perfect days, a film that I went to see about 2 weeks ago called Perfect Days. Now that's what you call a segue. That's a good one. I think because I've always labelled Submarine. I was about to say Subway there. I've always labelled Submarine as my favourite film.
Opinions on Subway? Just yes or no.
I neutral, middle
Carry on.
ground.
Carry on.
It's not good. It's not shit.
It's fine. It's pretty good.
I've always labelled Submarine as my favourite film. Gav agrees with me.
That is also my favourite film.
Yeah,
Yeah, fantastic film.
This
great score
This
as well.
has overtaken it. I know. Some statement. A huge
Wow.
statement. Because Submarine means a lot to me. Perfect Days has affected my life over the last 3 weeks. Just because, this film's about this toilet cleaner in Tokyo. And he gets up, jumps straight out of bed, folds his bed. He lives in this sort of, it's a nice apartment, but it's small. It's what's the word? Concise.
But it's home for him.
It's home, and that's what matters. He wakes up and he waters his plants, and he brushes his teeth. He gets a coffee and he cleans the toilets, and his day's just so like structured every day. But he just loves everything about his life. And as the film goes on, you discover things about his past. You don't hear details, but you know that he's gone through some stuff in his life, and it's just a beautiful like exploration into how we live our lives and the way we can live our lives. Like a lot of people choose to live their lives. What am I trying to say? Some people don't appreciate their lives enough.
You walk around with blinkers on like you're a horse.
Yeah, and
Open your
I
eyes.
think sometimes you just need to sort of step back and realise that we are so lucky to like just be on a planet where we can live and be in a species where we can create and have love and be able to create connections with people.
Have you had a really good week or something? This isn't like you.
Yeah, I have had a good week. I'm just happy.
Yeah, but I mean,
Unbelievable film.
That sounds like a really good film,
Everyone needs to
be
watch
fair.
that.
I will have
gave
to-
it
I will
five,
have to watch.
strongest 5 stars I've ever given.
I will have to watch it.
Yeah.
I was looking for films that was on in the cinema. And I saw that and I thought, looks fucking boring.
No, but yeah.
I was sad. I can't
No,
be arsed with that.
I get that. It does look boring.
I
but
went to
it's-
watch Poor Things.
It's beautiful.
Which is good.
Unbelievable film. Yeah.
That was pretty good. Like we say, she just won the Oscar, didn't we?
Yeah.
Emma Stone.
And she was bawling her eyes out.
Shout out Emma. I
Yeah.
want to stop saying friend of the pod now because Luke mentioned last week, Luke from Distance said that I say it all the time.
No, but it's good. I like that. It's a thing that's catching.
Emma Stone, friend
Anyway,
of the pod.
Emma Stone is a friend of the pod.
She is a friend of the pod.
Yeah. I've told you I'm building up an emotional
Yeah.
connection with her.
Yeah.
Which will, yeah.
How's she doing with that restraining order? Is that?
Sorry?
How's she doing with that restraining order? And is that coming along well? Wait. Funny stuff. What we need is a TikTok clip of like every time we say friend of the pod. We need a list of all of our friends of the pod. One day I'm gonna be asked enough to go through every episode we've released so far and make a list of every time we've said friend of the pod.
We've had Gustav Mahler. I
Have we?
remember that one. That was the first episode. We had another one on the first episode as well. I can't remember.
I think Jimmy Blackburn.
Jimmy Blackman's definitely a friend of the, but he actually is.
Yeah, he's quite literally a friend of the pod.
Yeah, the funnier friends of the pod are the ones who aren't.
Yeah.
Emma Stone and Gustav Mahler.
What a pair that is. Right,
I
shall
think
we?
they get on.
I think there'd be a language barrier. But Emma Stone's probably good at learning languages as an actor. Gustav Mahler's quite busy though.
Is
isn't he?
she?
Yeah.
No, I know she's an actor, but like.
Actors are good at learning languages.
Are they?
Anyway, shall we answer this question? What would constitute a perfect day for you?
So, as this is kind of to fall in love, is this a perfect day for both? Is this like our dream date?
No, I think we just
Or just
answer
what's our
it.
No,
perfect date?
it's just your individual
Individually,
perfect day.
yeah.
Right,
To
okay.
see, I guess, if you're compatible.
Right. Well, I just want to say the same as you then.
You know those like videos of like proper Brexit geezers, like do you know what I mean? Like wake up, have a Stella, beat the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
them ones.
I'm familiar. Anything else, or
No,
that's your perfect day?
no, that is not my perfect day.
Domestic abuse.
You answer first.
It's not on. Not
No.
on. Perfect day for me is.
We've gone from speaking about how beautiful life is to beating the wife.
Well, no, we're saying that's a bad thing. You should be appreciating the people that you love. You shouldn't be inflicting harm on people. Dig. What would constitute a perfect day for me? Something simple. I don't want to go to Disneyland. I don't want to, go to New York. Well, I do, but like that's not my perfect day. I've never experienced that. Well, I've been to Disneyland Paris, but like if I, my dream holiday, go to New York and go to Broadway and do all these things and see all the restaurants and stuff. What if I get there and it's shit? That might not be my perfect day at all. My perfect day is I see my friends. It's warm. Park, maybe.
Yeah.
Sit in the park.
Woodhouse Moor, potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hyde Park. Have a picnic.
Same place, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Have a picnic. Maybe have a drink. Who knows? Go
Yeah.
crazy.
A beverage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
And just chill.
my perfect day would be I'd go to London. I'd be in a hotel or something, quite a nice hotel. I'd wake up, have a brew, have a hazelnut and chocolate croissant.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
Oof, yeah. Maybe read a bit of my book and then get out, go for a little wander with some music. Maybe.
Would anybody be with you, or is this a solitary day?
This is a solitary day.
All right.
I like spending time by myself.
You
yeah.
do. You're a solitary guy.
Maybe listen to some music, potentially Kid A. Maybe some Red Cherries. If they had any music out.
Yeah.
Soon. And I'd get a pub lunch, I think. Maybe.
Oh yes.
Maybe a Sunday roast if it's a Sunday.
But that's late in the day, though.
And a pint of
You're not having a Sunday roast.
a pint of Peroni with my Sunday dinner.
That's a good choice.
I'm having chicken.
No, that's the wrong choice. You're having pork.
I'm having medium rare chicken.
Beef.
I'm having pork.
A properly nicely done beef
Yeah.
clears everything.
Or a steak. That is beef.
The perfect steak.
How'd you have your steak done?
Medium rare.
I don't have enough
or
steak
rare.
to know, but
Medium
I think
rare.
it would be medium rare.
Yeah.
And then after my pub lunch, I think I wander into London. Maybe get myself some clothes or something. I know it's a bit materialistic of me, but there you have it.
You.
I like clothes.
You like clothes.
And then
If you don't like clothes, you're lying. You like clothes.
yeah, everyone likes clothes. Come on now, get a grip of yourself.
What are you wearing if not clothes?
Yeah. And then obviously I'd do some charity work. No, I wouldn't. Fuck them. No. I'd go to the cinema, I think, and I'd watch a good film,
Perfect Days, perhaps.
perhaps Submarine. And then
Oh, if Submarine, it won't. If it ever comes out in theatres, we need to go and watch it.
oh my god. Well, I requested it for Film Sock today,
Yeah.
but I don't think they'll.
I'm not in films up, but I'll turn up anyway.
Yeah, it's only like £1 or something. And then I'll have a slightly more fancy meal. Maybe some sushi.
Ooh.
Maybe I'll go to Yo Sushi. And then go meet up with a few friends for some drinks, and then go to bed.
Lovely stuff.
I think that's a lovely day.
That is a date. Should we do one more? Because we are spending quite a bit of time on this. I am enjoying this.
I do enjoy this.
We've
but
got a lot to get
We've got
through.
other things to talk about, yeah.
What question are we on? 35.
Of all the people in your family,
Oh.
whose death would you find most
You want to do this one? Or should I
disturbing?
skip
No,
it
this
and do
isn't
a
the
better
fun one,
No.
yeah.
Why?
I don't like that.
Well, I think
every death is disturbing.
Yeah, I was
that's
going to
not,
say
that's
that's
not
like
fun.
trying to rank which of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's like
Sack
saying
that, yeah.
mum or dad, basically, or
Well,
mum or mum.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not good. That's a terrible question.
That's a
to put on
horrible
there,
thing
yeah.
to ask, yeah.
Yeah, that's awful. It would be you, Gav. If you died, I'd be distraught.
It depends how I die, though.
What about if you got run over by a double-decker bus?
That would be that would be traumatising.
No, that would be a heavenly way to die.
What about a 10-ton truck? What if that killed the both of us?
Well, the pleasure, the privilege would be mine.
Wouldn't be mine. I'd hate it. I'd rather not be.
Yeah, true. Which one? Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life.
I should say, Chris has used the random number generator 3 or 4 times now just to find a better question.
Yeah, because some of them kind of just like they'd be fine to do if you were actually doing this like to fall in love. Cool with someone like you kind of vaguely knew.
That's kind of
No, but like okay,
kind of what we're doing.
the one that I
trying to
got
make
was like,
content here.
if you were going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would be important for him or her to know. That's so boring.
I think we are close friends.
I was
I
going to
think
say
we
I feel
know.
like you are close friends.
Yes.
Yeah. Gav, when do we get onto paid subscriptions? Like Musish Extra, Musish Plus.
Patreon.
No, not
Musish
Patreon.
Loaded.
Yeah, Musish Loaded. When do we get our own like app? the Musish app. Where
What would you put on the Musish app?
Um,
What would be behind closed doors?
I don't know.
You like to know, Katie?
How much would we charge? £10.99 a month.
A
A
month?
day.
£10.99 a month?
Some people would pay that.
No, they
It's
wouldn't.
more than I pay for Spotify.
Yeah.
Are you more important than Spotify?
Are we more important than Spotify? No, we're not actually.
No,
Yeah.
you're not, because Spotify is how people listen to you.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Well, it's YouTube.
£4.99 a month. We'll get them cheap.
Yeah. all right.
People are more inclined to buy things if they're cheap.
Definitely.
When are we getting a sponsorship, Chris? I don't know if we can talk about
Sponsor.
what you were telling me the other week, but
The Grid Rival stuff.
oh, okay, I guess we can.
No, because they've not responded to us, so
Oh.
we can talk about them. Yeah, I'm not sure. To be honest, like, I don't really know what the future of these podcasts is. I don't know if we just continue doing them as they are and that's it. If we try and push them, I don't really know where this is going.
I'd like a sponsorship because I like money.
Yeah, no, I
And
like
I'm
money.
enjoying
But
doing
the thing
this.
is, okay, say you got a sponsorship, right? How do you split that? So say a sponsor comes in and says, "Listen, I'll pay you £100 if you talk about our product for 5 minutes or for 2 minutes."
Yeah, 5 minutes is a bit much.
Yeah, for 2 minutes. What's the split there?
50-50.
Do I not get any?
Oh, yeah.
Are we
Well,
going to
so
do
where-
contract negotiations
Yeah,
live on
contract
air?
negotiations live on air. I'm saying, so
I-
what's my
well,
what's
I-
my percentage?
What's
I
the
think- I
lowest
think-
you'd go?
I would be. No, you know what? Let's do it. Contract negotiations live on air. Let's say we've just had an offer. Oh my god, I've checked the emails. Listen, Air Up have come in. They've said, listen, you do 2 minute segment.
We can't keep saying that Air Up are sponsoring us.
No, they're not. For
They're gonna
reference, Air Up
cease
are
and
not
desist.
sponsoring us.
Air
But
Up
if they
don't
were, this is how it might go.
If they'd
Boys,
like
boys,
to.
listen, Air Up have sent us an email.
I love Air Up.
We've got a sponsorship offer. It's £100.
35, 35, 30.
Why did
Yeah.
you look at me when you said 30?
No, 30 for
Yeah,
him.
I back that. I think that's too high though on my end.
All right,
Oh,
40,
brilliant.
40, 40, 20.
No, that's too low now. I'd take a 25, and then you do no.
Then
Nah,
we get,
you know what,
Then we
you know
get
what?
more.
No, you know what? The 30. What is it? 35, 35, 30. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, that works.
Pleasure doing business with you. Good to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Air Up hit us up.
Yeah.
Right, embarrassing
I
moment
love
in your life.
Air Up. I looked at the camera and then the fellow walked past the window. I hope he didn't think I was looking directly at him.
We were having this conversation yesterday.
Were we?
You weren't.
Oh.
You were working.
I was working.
If you put vodka in an Air Up bottle,
No, you did have this discussion with me.
was it with you?
Yeah. But you said if you put pints in an Air Up bottle, and I didn't think that would work.
No, but if you put vodka in an Air Up bottle, no, because you'd still taste the alcohol, wouldn't you? It's not going to flavour the alcohol.
Yeah, no, it's only
Water.
because water has not even like vodka has an effect on you. Water has no effect.
Yeah.
Vodka has no taste theoretically, but it has a
Hey, put that away. It's not an Air Up bottle.
yeah. Come on, what do you think this is?
It is. Oh, I wish it is. I just need money to afford one.
Yeah, we really wish that we could have Air Up bottles on this podcast. Really, truly.
We'd leave. I wouldn't even leave mine down here. I'd leave mine here.
Yeah,
in
if we had
front of
Air
the
Up
mic.
bottles,
I'm
we would.
parched right now. I could really do with some water.
Well, I've got.
I've you
I've
don't.
got this boring water,
Oh, not boring water.
but it doesn't taste nice.
Damn it.
Oh, no.
Oh,
It came out
imagine
the
if there
s-
was a product that could
It
make
came
your
out the
water
sink
taste
in the
nicer.
disabled toilets out there. It's a bit warm.
You don't want disabled water.
I think the water's the same in all the toilets. It's just I don't know where the men's is.
But imagine if your disabled water could taste nice.
This is now we do this.
we bring to you.
Musish Pod presented by Air Up Bottles.
Should we?
Yeah, what would actually just quickly on the topic? What would be your dream sponsorship?
It'd be a music thing.
What,
Gibson?
like Fender.
Fender, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
How many years till we're on Foot Asylum locked in?
I feel like locked in is like where you go when you kind of make it, but you're not really there.
Yeah.
I don't like locked
You're
in.
nowhere near.
Yeah, like Danny Aaron shouldn't have been on locked in. He was too big for that.
Yeah,
But
but
then-
you know he got
Oh, you know he got bread.
yes, like millions. I reckon.
What would be your dream? Like like I'm a celeb, that kind of vibe. Like what would be your dream?
Yeah.
Careers
Musish
kind of
pod on I'm a Celeb.
careers taking a dive. Right. What do you do to get yourself back into the limelight?
Celebrity catchphrase.
Rogue.
Because I'm unreal at catchphrase.
But would people just not think, oh, he's a bit of a smarmy cunt? Do you know what I mean?
No, because I'd win so much money for my chosen charity.
That they'd have to love you.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'd go on Strictly Come Dancing.
Nice. Can you dance?
I will do when
Yeah.
I've got what's his name? What's that fella? What's that?
The pretty one.
What's that fella's name?
That doesn't narrow things down on Strictly Come Dancing, the fellow who goes like that.
A judge or like a the dance
No,
partner?
the dancer, the old one, the one that everyone likes, like Antonio or something.
Anton de Beck.
Anton de Beck, that's the one.
Isn't he one of the judges?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Oh, now he is, yeah. Craig Revel Hall. Right, embarrassing
8.
moment. Fucking hell. It's taken us a while to get into this. Any embarrassing moments?
Yeah. When I misspoke. Right. Picture the scene. I always remember this, and it makes me feel physically sick when I think about it. I was like 7 or something, and it was primary school dinner time. We're all sat round at the tables, and this lad's one of my friends at the time. I think he mentioned my dad or something. You know, it's just like kids just fucking arguing. And I don't even know why I said it, because it just came out. I didn't even think about this, but I just went, at least I see my dad. I don't know why. There was no part of me in my brain that went, this kid doesn't see his dad. Can I say it? His dad was in prison.
Who's dad?
The kid that I said it to.
Oh, right. I sort of switched off there. It's not very good from me.
Yeah. Well, it was very embarrassing. Were you listening, or?
I was listening. That is a rough one.
Yeah, no.
That is not particularly great.
And then everybody at the table looks at me and was like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't say that, man.
I got bits.
And I
of
was
it.
like, I don't know why I said that.
One of my mates' mums passed away a while ago. I said a while, like a couple of years back. And it was like, you know, when you're in the habit of just
Oh,
a
yeah,
your
yeah,
mum joke. And it was like, it was not very soon after.
Yeah.
And it was like
How soon are we talking?
less than a year.
Ooh.
Oh.
And he said something and I just went, yeah, so does your mum. And I immediately went, oh no, what have I
That's
done?
bad.
Yeah. So not my greatest work.
I can't really think of any embarrassing moments. Like,
Your outfit?
right, okay. That's just a bit personal. That's a longer silence than before.
I do
that
like
one.
your outfit.
Who do you think is the best dressed in the group?
You're looking at him.
I would say Nat, probably.
Yeah, it is Nat. Although,
Can we do worst, or is that rough?
no, that's rough.
That
You
is
can't do
rough.
that one.
I know what the answer is.
Worst?
Yeah.
Like, well,
What does it rhyme with?
No. No, I think, to be fair, there's just the
Joe?
most...
the Loch Ness. No, Jess is well dressed.
Do you know I like my joke? Never mind.
It rhymes with Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good, that one.
Cheers.
That was poor.
Yeah,
That was
that
really funny.
terrible. What's the Billy? What?
Yeah. I'm wearing all black today. This is
I had
interesting.
a good question.
No, I'm not finished. I'm wearing all black today.
Stand up for a second and look at me. Is that a LA Dodgers sweatshirt? It is an LA Dodgers
It
sweatshirt.
is.
I didn't
Sweatshirt.
clock that when I walked in. Or
I
just
don't give a
when
shit about the LA Dodgers, I should say.
Yeah, I know.
I like the jumper.
It's a nice jumper, but fuck the Dodgers.
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't know we hated the
We'll talk
Dodgers.
about that later.
Well, look. Black jeans, black hoodie, black t-shirt, black socks.
Boxers,
I won't show them on camera, but black.
delightful.
Wow. If only you
I've
had black
colour
skin.
matched. I've colour matched. What is the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you? Have you thought of anything?
No, but I was just going to say,
Cheers.
Bryn's well dressed.
Yeah, Bryn does dress really
Bryn
nicely.
dresses really
I
well.
don't think I can picture Bryn's dress.
No, I like. Bryn's
He's just
dressing.
always looking very presentable.
Yeah, yeah.
A friend of ours, but not a friend of the pod.
No, he is a friend of the
He is a
pod.
friend of the pod.
Of course he is. What's the biggest bollocking you ever got from your parents, like as a kid?
When do you stop being a kid? Like, is...
Let's say like a young kid, like pre-10.
No. I'm saying like pre-16 or something.
I want to
I
hear
got-
like
I-
funny
I-
kid stories.
To be fair, I had one on my mum's 40th birthday. I was out at a party.
How old were you at the time?
16.
Right.
I would 15, 16. I got absolutely battered. My mates found me on like the stairs, passed out, and they were like, "Right, we need to get him home." Called my mum. So my mum on her 40th birthday had to come and pick me up.
Ooh, yeah, that's
Um,
bad.
And
That's
then
poor.
and then I was walking from the car, so in the driveway, walking from the car to the door, and I threw up on the driveway. So my mum spent the first hours of her 40th birthday cleaning up my chunder from the driveway.
That's poor.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, actually,
I was dog-assed for a while there.
yeah. I was gonna say one. Yeah, I was gonna say one from secondary school, but actually there was a similar story where I'd been out in Preston.
Wild night.
I don't think I can say this on the podcast.
Do you want to tell me about this
Because they
later?
might be listening. Yeah.
Sorry.
I've just dropped myself in it there massively.
Nah, say it now.
I may as well say it.
If you want to say it, you say it.
No, I may as well say it because it was like
Mrs. and Mrs.
it was like
Owen,
a year and a half
please.
ago.
You can.
Right, I'd been out in Preston and this homeless man comes up to us.
Do they know about this?
No. So
So,
enjoy this one.
ho.
This homeless man comes up to us. Shit, this is bad.
Is this like? Because I'm worried about like how I look here. Have
No,
you done
no.
something bad or like something that would get you right?
It's just a bit embarrassing.
Right. Okay.
And he comes up to us and he says, "If you buy me a pint at this pub, I'll give you some weed." So we bought him a pint. We'd had like
Idiots.
we were bladdered. And
I've got a funny
was
pub
that
man
was
story in a
that
bit.
was the first time that I'd ever smoked as well. And so apparently on the train I went to the toilet like 5 times. I was with Louis.
Train
And
toilet.
he didn't have any. And then when I got home, I'd blacked out and I woke up and there was like sick everywhere. And apparently my parents had to make sure that I didn't die.
Jesus,
Cool.
man.
Did they know that you'd smoked?
No. But they do now.
I have a funny
I hit a
pub.
homeless man on Monday accidentally.
What?
With a,
Yeah.
I was on a voice
I
scooter
heard
in
this one.
Liverpool, and basically, so,
You're sacked.
no, hang on.
No,
There's-
he
there's-
didn't go.
Yeah, no, there's context. Basically, I was on the voice scooter, and my mate Max was in front of me, and I don't know Liverpool at all. Right, it's my first time in Liverpool, and I said to him,
Liverpool mention?
yeah, I said to him, I go, okay, like he's leading us to the club in front of me, and I shouted towards him. I went like because he'd just taken a really sharp left, and I was like, shit, like I really struggled to follow him there. Shout out or like indicate or do something when you're going to turn, so I know when to turn. Him being an absolute knobhead decides that what he's going to do is not tell me and basically turn it into like a fucking Grand Prix where I don't know the track. So he's bombing it. I'm trying to follow him. And he's like going from the road to the pavement, from the road to the pavement, like being an absolute shithouse. And so there was a sharp left turn and he, rather than like waiting for the traffic lights, he jumps onto the pavement. Now, as he's going onto the pavement, there's a homeless man walking. And so he goes on through the gap, beats the homeless man. I'm thinking,
He
shit.
beats him.
No,
You've only hit him.
he beats him to the apex of the corner. So I'm thinking, okay, there's a gap. I'm going to send it.
chicane.
Yeah, I'm going to send the gap. I'm fine. Now, because I was reacting, I
stuck
didn't
the
know where I
DRS
was
on.
going. Yeah, I tried to fit into the gap. Poor decision. I hesitated.
Was alcohol involved at this point?
No,
Oh, no, you're
I
not
don't-
drinking. You don't
yeah, I'm not
drink,
drinking. I get onto the pavement, and as I get onto the pavement, I realise that the gap that I tried to send was not a gap anymore. And I barreled into the side of the homeless man, who didn't fall. He just sort of stumbled a touch.
Friend of the pod.
Yeah, friend of the pod.
Did you give him a bit of cash?
No, I drove off.
Oh,
Hit
man.
and run.
I said sorry.
Hit and run.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah, I went, oh my God, sorry. And then, because Max had already gone by this point,
But if you had like £2,
I had £2. I had £3, but it was my entry to the club. Because the Blue Angel nightclub only takes cash.
I've never been to Blue Angel Nightclub, but most of them do, yeah.
Yeah, why is that?
Scousers don't have debit cards.
Yeah, I was thinking of a joke.
I
but
don't actually know. I'd imagine it's probably got something to do with
fraud.
with who's running the clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, even like the big student one that we used to go to, the heebie-jeebies. For anybody listening who knows,
That's your third word.
heebie-jeebies shout out.
Friend of the pod.
friend of the pod, friends of the pod, the heebie-jeebies staff. Yeah, either you buy it on Fixer beforehand or you cash on the door.
This was just straight up cash on the door. There were two like 50, 60-year-old women on the door taking cash and giving wristbands. It felt like a year 6 disco.
I've never heard of Blue Angel Nightclub in my life.
It's really good. It's by, I actually was going to try and tell you where it's by, but no idea.
Well, if
It's
you
down
went,
the road from that Shiraz though.
yeah, you went to that ship.
Yeah.
Well, all the clubs are on that
Yeah.
road, really.
But it's like if you're going down the hill, it's on the left when you get to the bottom of the hill.
Yeah.
And then the queue is huge though. Like, I've never seen a club that big for any club in Leeds.
I have a pubman story from this Monday.
Go on.
Right. Let me sip my water first.
We do need to get onto a different class and the Beatles game. We can sack off the Beatles game.
No, I wanted to be.
We do have about half an hour. So
Yeah.
This is a short.
Alright,
this is a short story.
All right, go on.
We went to the library pub on Monday.
Oh,
you were
this story.
You were both invited.
Yeah.
I think I told you about this. I don't think I told Chris.
I told Chris about it.
All right. Well, I'll tell the listeners at home then.
Yeah.
You were invited. You didn't come.
To be fair, he wasn't in Liverpool.
Yeah.
yeah, I was in Liverpool.
Yeah. But guy like me would have got the train. But
I think I would have been on the train at that point.
yeah. Well, we were getting towards the end of the night, and we were sat outside the library pub because we went to go and find some of my flat because they were sat outside, we were sat inside, and then we did. We ran into some people in the outside bit in the beer garden. Some of Ali's friends, Ali, the bassist of the Red Cherries, and also guitarist of Just Married. Plug. And there was this dog running around, and I went, "Oh my god, there's a dog in the gaff." And Ali was like, "Right." And then he saw a dog and went, "Oh, there actually is a dog in the gaff." And we were looking at this dog, and then we thought that the fella who was sat on the bench next to us, drinking cans out of his bag, probably the owner of this dog. We were correct in assuming that. So we were looking at this dog. The dog's a bit scared, so we want to leave him alone. And we said, somebody goes to the fella who was like, "What's the dog's name?" And he goes up to us and he's like, "It's Pablo, but don't say his name because he freaks out if you say his name." We were like, right. And then we were just chatting about the dog, and then this dog runs off. He keeps throwing him empty plastic glasses to like play fetch with, and then this dog runs off, lunges at somebody who's about to walk into the pub, and bites him. And the fella was like, "What the fuck? That dog's just bitten me." And the bouncer was like, "Get your dog on a lead or go away." Like, so that he shouts the dog back. He's like, he obviously doesn't say his name. He's freaking out. But he's like, come back. On the way back, he bites one of Ali's mates on the leg, through jeans, leaves a mark, draws blood. All for the rest of the night. This lad's going, that dog bite's killing me. Next, I know one of the other lads who was with us is on my seminar. So I met up with him Wednesday morning. And I was like, "Oh, how's Tyler doing after his dog bite?" He was like, he went to the GP the next day because like it was starting to get, it's starting to look weird.
That's rough, that.
And he, great stuff. You could have said rough. They also go rough.
Yeah, but rough's more commonly associated with.
Yeah, but if he'd done rough, he'd have had to go rough.
Yeah, which would have been funny.
Yeah.
And that would have been barking mad.
But yeah, and they gave him antibiotics and were like, if it gets any worse, if it goes green, let us know. We were like, what the fuck, man? So Ali was kind of having a go at the guy. Not really, he wasn't like shouting at him, but he was like, "Come on, man, like, why are you bringing your dog here if you know he's going to bite people?" And he goes, "He never normally bites people, this doesn't usually happen." He's like, "Yeah, but he's just bitten 2 people in 2 minutes." He was like, "Yeah, but he only bites people if it's loud or someone says his name." And I was like, "Yeah, but you've brought him to a pub. Like, it's going to be loud. There's drunk people leaving. You're going to have loud noises."
You know, since you told me that story the other day, every time I've seen a homeless person with a dog, I'm scared shitless because I don't know whether that's Pablo.
Just make sure you don't say the word
say
Pablo
his
in
name.
public.
I will never say.
You want my advice? We've brought him in now. You want my advice? Just if you ever see a dog, don't say Pablo. Don't say Pablo.
Friend of the party.
Don't
Pablo's the only person.
Stop saying his name. Stop saying his name. He's gonna come in. I'm scared.
Lord Pablo.
Pablo.
Did you ever watch Harry Hill's TV, Bert?
I loved Harry Hill's TV.
What was the weird woman/creature? Do you remember?
No.
I can never remember what the name was, but I remember watching TV. But my mum used to have to watch the episode first to make sure that this woman/creature wasn't in it, and even the name would scare. Hang on, I'll try and find what it was.
Should we move on to different class?
Well, we can do.
Yeah, this was the second album. This one was my album. Ramsay, would you like to ask me to introduce this?
Gav, what does this album mean to you?
This album means a lot to me. I like this album a lot. The songs are really good.
Yep.
I grew up listening to this album. My mum used to have loads of the songs in the car, and it used to have a kind of nostalgic thing on me when I used to listen to the songs. Not really anymore because like I've listened to them so much. over time that
Yeah.
it stopped kind of belonging to a certain time.
Yeah.
But I've got in my notes followed by 3 exclamation marks.
There's the woman.
That was what
That's
it
the
was for
woman.
reference. It was Wagbo.
Wagbo.
Wagbo, which was the love child of Mary Byrne and Wagner.
Wagner, surely.
Wagner,
Yeah, Wagner. Why
Music.
is it giving me...
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
but yeah, Wagbo terrified me as a child to the point of genuine... Like, I don't remember being that fearful of anything in my childhood.
We were
Robert
talking-
Downey
we were
Jr.
talking
was on
about
Harry
fears,
Hill's
weren't we?
TV Burp.
Allegedly.
Who did you say you were afraid of as a kid? We were having that conversation earlier. 'cause
Bears.
Bears, yeah.
Not even as a kid. Now.
Now, yeah.
They're terrifying.
He's afraid of bears.
I'm afraid of bears.
Go on, get a bear up.
Don't get a picture of a bear up.
That's
It's
really
scary.
weird. 'Cause- Yeah.
Yeah, look at that thing, man.
I just want to cuddle that.
It would kill you.
I know it would, but it just looks so soft.
Get one of them roaring.
Grizzly-
Don't
No, don't do that. Not on a kosher.
Oh, kill him, prey. Kill him, prey. Yeah. Look at him.
Oh, even still.
Oh, that's horrifying, man.
Any bears listening?
Sophie's scared of
agree.
killer whales, isn't she?
And orcas, yeah.
They do have killer in their
She
name.
was saying the other day, I think it was at Wings, that they've found orcas near where she lives.
Really? No way.
So if I see any bears in Liverpool, I'll know.
That's just their next door neighbours. Anyway,
And rats as well. I don't like rats.
as a scouser.
To say, surely, come on now. Let's not take the piss. here.
Oh, that's a good story for the pod. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
We're walking home from the Fenton the other night, Tuesday night, after
Yep.
playing with the Red Cherries. Check us out.
Look us up on Instagram and on TikTok, but not really TikTok because I don't
Um,
put it on.
And
I don't bother.
I'm walking through Woodhouse Moor, like along the main road, whatever.
Yep.
And
I love that you call it Woodhouse Moor. That's so professional.
well, that's what it's called.
Yeah, I know, but I love it. Go on.
And I'm just walking my natural walk when I feel something on my foot,
Oh.
and I look to my left.
Oh, Jesus.
This massive rat is running across. So I've just booted this rat by accident.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the story. Okay.
There's
Different class.
right near my flat, there's a road where people put the bins out.
Yeah.
And I've kind of memorized, because there's loads of rats there, so I've kind of memorized the routes that the rats go. So every day I look like an insane person
rat
walking
routes.
along this road. I cross this road about 4 times to get to my flat because I'm avoiding the kind of hot
Yeah,
spots
yeah.
of the rats.
Were you there when we'd left the Fox and Newt gig? And
No, I didn't leave with you because I had all the equipment.
Yeah, do you remember that? And we passed these bins.
Oh.
I think were there
You've
two?
told me about this. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
And these, I think there was 2. I think these
There were more than that.
really.
That's what Jess said, but,
Yeah.
you know.
All these rats came running out of this bin.
Fuck, they would get
Jess
started.
screams, and so Sophie screams, and so Daisy screams, and then the whole
Then Ramsay screams and Chris screams. And
yeah, and it was a sight to behold. You know what else is a sight to behold? Jarvis Cocker, the lead singer of Pulp.
yes. I have in my notes, followed by 3 exclamation marks. Certified Rammer alert for different class. Every song is insane, apart from Live Bed Show. That one's just fine.
Okay, we are going to have some disagreements on this album.
There's gonna be a brouhaha.
So, I listened to this album 2 years ago, maybe, and so I listened to it again today, of course, for the research. And I remember not liking it,
Oof.
and those opinions have stayed the same.
Oh man.
I think this is an album of there's nothing of note in this album.
There's nothing of note.
There's very little of note. I think the music's disinteresting. Actually, I take back what I just said.
So what?
What is of note are the lyrics. The lyrics are
I've
incredible.
also read about my lyrics.
Jarvis
the
Cocker
lyrics, brother.
is an amazing poet. I don't think he's an amazing songwriter.
I think the lyrics are cheeky, incredibly honest, and at times embarrassing. He writes about things that a lot of people would be afraid to admit.
Yeah.
You know, you look at songs like Underwear, which I did at the
You
Fenton
covered, yeah.
um,
Very well, I thought.
last week. It was quite good, wasn't
Yeah.
it? where he's saying, I wish I could see you standing in your underwear, but I can't because this fella's doing it instead.
Yeah.
Some things maybe he shouldn't admit. Pencil skirt, bit rapey, little bit.
Yeah. Cool guitar solo though.
Great guitar solo, great song. Still a bit rapey though. If we get the lyrics up, they're kind of.
Yeah. Can we even say them?
Do not clip this. I really love it when you tell me to stop. Oh, it's turning me on. Not cool, really,
No.
to do that.
But Jarvis Cocker is a cool guy.
He is, and I'm sure he doesn't mean that.
And we were talking about this. Maybe I need to take on a Jarvis Cocker sort of role.
We do, yeah.
Not in relation to those lyrics.
No, very, very much no.
Yes. But Jarvis Cocker is pure charisma.
Yeah.
And he's the best thing about Pulp by a long stretch.
He is Pulp, really. He's the only consistent member since its formation.
Yeah. They did a few gigs last year, no?
They did. I didn't
you
get to
see
go
them?
to them. I
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, he dresses well. I like Jarvis Cocker's vibe.
So,
And he's a Sheffieldian.
yes, Sheffielder,
Sheffielder, yeah.
something like that. He's
Yeah.
from Sheffield.
And I've thought that he sounded best on Underwear. I think
Underwear's
his
fantastic
voice shines
song,
on
yeah.
that. But yeah, I just think it's a bit disinteresting. A lot of the songs, I could not tell you a thing about them if you told me the name. Common People's overrated. Underwear's good. Bar Italia's good.
Bar Italia's fantastic.
Sorted for Ease and Wiz is shit.
No, it's not. It's good.
Pencil Skirt shit.
Pencil Skirt is not shit.
Um,
It's one of the weaker songs on the album, but it's not shit. It's good.
What was the one that I said was just shit? For one of them, I wrote just shit. Disco 2000. Yeah.
Disco 2000.
Yeah, just shit.
This isn't interesting music criticism. You're just naming the songs on the album. You're going, shit.
But that's
But
my
they're not.
that's my point, because there's nothing of note to them. There's just nothing about them.
Have you? Bless you. Bless
Even
you. Bless you.
There's no.
That's your last one. You're not getting another bless you.
Consider
Mute
yourself
your-
blessed.
Mute your mic.
There's
I
no-
shall not bless you
there's-
It
anymore.
was muted.
There's barely any melody. The chords are.
Barely any melody. That's just not true. That's wrong. You're incorrect in saying that.
I'm just not there. Yeah, the chords. Some of them are quite cool. Mostly they're not. Underwear's just creep. Yeah, Bar Italia's a good finishing track. They're my
Underwear's
thoughts.
just creep.
You
Is a for somebody who prides himself on knowing so much about music and having so much
Yeah,
passion about music.
I am obviously just being.
It's
blunt.
just a ridiculous thing to say.
It's not a creep, but it has the same chord progression.
Have
for
you
for the
anything
verse.
positive to say about this album?
I've said positive things. I think the lyrics are incredible, and what I will say is that I think it's an important album. I think it sort of epitomizes. They wouldn't want me to label it as this, but it is Britpop.
It is Britpop.
Yeah.
I don't think people would disagree with that.
Yeah, but obviously, I was reading today, Jarvis Cocker didn't want to be related to Britpop at all, because that was, in his eyes, just Blur and Oasis and just
Well,
white people with guitars.
well, that's what people say, Blur or Oasis. To me, Pulp. Because I'm a contrarian and I'm annoying, and also because I think they're better than the rest of those bands.
Which you would just be so wrong about.
No, but I wouldn't be
So
though. I'd
wrong.
actually be right.
So
because
wrong.
I'm right.
Oh, no.
I think maybe one reason why Pulp wouldn't want to be labelled, or Jarvis wouldn't want to be labelled Britpop, is the time it took Pulp to get where they were. Pulp were formed in
1978.
1978. This album, really, this wasn't their first hit. His and Hers was popular.
But Common People went straight to one.
which came
number one,
out
didn't it?
a year before. So that kind of got it going a bit, but Different Class really was Freaks, Separation, nobody listened to those albums when they came out. Nobody cared. His and Hers, there was a bit of...
Yeah, there's reason for that.
Yeah, well, those albums aren't great. There's some great songs on them. I'm thinking Freaks, I Want You is one of Pulp's best songs. On Separations, Death 2 is cooler than anything on Kid A and came out
Oh,
8 years before.
This is going to get violent.
Listen to Death 2.
Can we do 32 questions to, like...
We should have done this after...
Kill each other.
We should have fallen in love after this, I think.
That's certainly one of them.
But, yeah, different class. Common People went straight to number one. So 1995, from 1978, 17 years of grinding and grinding until this album came out and really kind of blew people away. Have you seen the Glastonbury performance of Common People in 1995?
I have, yeah. I've said this. Jarvis Cocker's amazing. Frontman charisma, unbelievable. Pulp live, I would love. Pulp recorded, and not good.
Do you know what? I wish I didn't hedge so much about Kid A. To be honest, I could have gone off more. I probably should have done.
I'm just being honest, though.
Yeah, well, I should have been more honest on Kid A. You know what? It's not a 7.5. I was chatting shit. It's a 7 at best.
Wow. I'm so offended.
But it was fine.
Yeah. But, what was I going to say?
It probably wasn't anything of note. It was probably wrong.
Most bands that are good, their debut album's usually quite well known.
Okay.
Pulp.
What, and Pablo Honey blew the world away? Creep did, maybe.
Yeah.
There's one song on that album.
Pablo Honey's a great album. Pablo Honey's clear of this album. There's so much more interesting stuff going on. What musically about this do you like? Musically, say something to do with the music.
All of it. I couldn't put it into words. I think
So
musically,
you can't say one thing about this album that you like. Musically, there's nothing. There's
you want
nothing
me
of
to
note.
pick a specific song off that list, and I'll tell you something musically that I like about it.
Okay. I thought you were talking to Chris. Sorry.
No.
Right. I'll go for Feeling Called Love. Oh no, that's actually
Feeling, yeah.
I don't mind that one.
Actually, FeelingCledlove.
I'll go for Pencil Skirt.
Right.
See, he's nervous now. He's freaking it.
No.
He's got nothing to say.
Pencil Skirt isn't even one of my favourite ones, but I love the kind of dainty chords and the strings in it. And it feels like a stage play. It's quite it's like a ballet. I like that. And that contrasts with the tone of the lyrics, which are very sexual and, like we said, not on. And that's
Send
the point.
that to your fucking friends.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Fuck off,
you know what,
Ramsay.
Gav? You've impressed me there.
Yeah.
Well done.
Beatles game. Let's finish on different class because I've outsmarted Ramsay. I've shown that I know more about music
I think,
and I have better
I think
taste
this
in
what
music.
I think this what boils down to though is that the fans at home know that Kid A's just a better album.
Well, write in with your thoughts. Am I right? Is Ramsay right? Do you want to listen to pretentious bullshit like Kid A?
Have you
Do you
heard?
want to listen to 8 minutes?
Have you heard these
I'm
albums,
talking.
Krish?
Do you want to listen to 8 minutes?
I tried to listen to some Radiohead the other day. Really not a fan.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to much Pulp, so maybe I should.
Yeah, I think
that
you
sounds
should.
more
I
my
think
vibe.
yeah. It's up to you. Do you want to listen to?
You know I'm not a Radiohead. I don't like Radiohead.
Do you want to listen to synthesizers for 8 minutes, or do you want to listen to a bit of fun?
I agree with
listen
the
to different
pretentious
class?
shout though. It just does feel a bit self-indulgent.
It's very
Like it's all
self-indulgent,
just sort of look at me, look how cool I am.
and I think you can be self-indulgent, but I don't care about your self-indulgence.
That's just not true though. It's just not true.
It feels like it's made for it's music that's made for people who want to turn around and go, look how cool I am. Look at the music I listen to.
Listen to me. I listen to
Look,
Kid A.
look, I'm so
I
cool.
like
I listen to
Creep.
this fucking
I like
pretentious
fake
planet.
plastic
No.
trees. I don't give a fuck
I
about.
listen to music for enjoyment, and I don't get any enjoyment out of it.
Okay, but I do. And
Do you, or do you tell yourself that you are supposed to?
No,
that's
I think
such
he
bollocks.
does. I think he does.
And I hate that you're saying that because I adore this album.
Well,
I mean, motion picture soundtrack. How can you not like that?
I like motion picture.
Yeah, I know you
soundtrack,
do.
but I don't like the whole album.
No, it's
In the
just
same way that you
unbelievable.
like underwear. But you
Tommy,
don't
if you're
like
listening, please help me. And if one was to take mind-altering substances, Kid A's the one to listen to.
what? So you can only listen to Kid A when you're high. You
No,
can listen
no,
to different.
I
you can
didn't.
listen
No, I
to
didn't. I didn't say that. I
You can
didn't
listen to
say
different
that.
class at any
I
time.
didn't say that.
You can listen to different class sober. You can
Oh,
listen to it
no.
drunk. You can have a great time. You know what? I have an idea.
If everything in its right place came on in like Indie Thursdays or something, I'd lose my head.
I'd leave. I have an idea. Let's prove who knows more about music by proving who knows more about the Beatles.
Well, that's such a shit segue.
What a segue. Krish.
Can I have your phone for this?
Yes. What Krish is going to do,
That was more of a swagway.
while we're getting this, what Krish is going to do is he's going to put the This Is the Beatles soundtrack on, This Is the Beatles playlist on Spotify on shuffle, and he's going to play a second of it up to the camera. Me and Ramsay have to fight to figure out who can get the Beatles song first. I got this because I saw a video of Jack White doing it, and I could get it quicker than Jack White.
How are we doing this? Are we buzzing?
Yeah, okay.
Should we buzz as soon as we know?
Yeah. Do you know the story about the guy who invented the Segway?
No.
He was trying to prove how easy it was to put the brakes on and how quick they would react, basically showing how quick the Segway was. So to do that, he himself volunteered to go on a Segway, drive up to the end of a cliff, and brake right before he fell off the cliff. He fell off the cliff.
I always thought it was, you know, those like things that you transport like packages on.
Yeah.
I always thought it was
trolley.
just like janitors riding around on those, and like they just thought, why don't we just stick an engine on this? We'll have a whale of a time.
Put an engine on this bad boy.
Do you want the song?
Well, so how are we buzzing? What are we doing?
Just say it. Whoever says it quickest, I'll decide.
Well, we
There's
just
only
go.
two of you.
Just go.
No, because then I have to look at you.
yeah, we'll just say it.
Just say it.
All right. Sound.
While my guitar Jenny
Well,
weeps.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to turn it up.
Can we have like a scoreboard?
Yeah, let me make a note.
I've got slow reactions.
What was the most
Ramsay nailed.
uninteresting...
You've put him as one.
Oh, yes, very good.
Love me do.
Yeah, you've done well there.
Well done, Gav. Superb.
Really
work.
good, Gav.
Thanks. Day Tripper.
Ramsay?
Yeah, I know.
Step it up, mate.
Fraud.
I'm having a stinker.
In my fucking
8 days a week.
yeah. Why did I say in my?
Go for Ramsay.
From your favourite album as
Yeah,
well.
I know.
What
that's
a fraud.
That's poor from me. Can you?
Lucy in the Sky Diamonds.
Fucking Strawberry Fields.
Strawberry
Strawberry
Fields,
Fields.
you knob.
Can you turn it up a bit, please?
That is as loud as it will go. I'll try and play it directly into the mic.
Please do. Oh, darling.
Oh, darling.
I said it. Oh, darling.
Yeah, you did
Give
say
me
it.
the point.
I just started
You
singing.
singing it. What the?
And I love her.
And I love her. Yeah.
This is a good game. I like
This is a great game, isn't it?
When do we start? First to 10.
First
on.
to 10.
Well, with a little help from my friends.
Oh, yeah, that's really good from you.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I will.
That was dead even.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
a draw.
giving either of you a point for that.
She loves you.
That's
Again,
me by a split second, surely.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it was even.
Here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, really good.
yeah.
How
Can
have I
you
not got
write
that
in
one?
at home and say that I deserve that last point, by the
Yeah,
way?
I think he did as well, by the way.
Thank you.
I'm a man of fair play.
Oh, fuck. We can work it out.
Go on. Yeah, that one, I've not listened to that tune in
I've
ages.
not let it. Twist and shout. No. Why did I say twist and shout? Why can't I remember the name? I want to hold your hand.
Oh, yeah.
Why did that take me so long?
I can't get the titles.
What? Yeah, my mind's gone
miss
blank.
you.
All my loving. Yeah.
Very good.
Jesus
You're
Christ.
good at this.
10 to 3.
Yeah, fair
Gav
play.
wins.
Good game.
Respect.
Can we do a Radiohead one? Next week we'll do Oasis.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, can you do a different artist for that each week? That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
We're going to run out of artists that we both listen to as much as the
there's,
Beatles.
There's like, we can do Arctic Monkeys maybe.
Yeah, I'd be able to.
Well, I could get involved with that. That's
Yeah.
quite good, actually.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
you
I
can
couldn't
see
yeah.
the phone.
Yeah, but like I said, I'll know the songs. Also, you guys have about 5 minutes left.
Yeah,
so-
well, I was just saying we may as well wrap it up now.
Yeah.
'Cause unless you've got anything left to say.
Wrap it before you tap it.
We're not ending with that again. That's not like our catchphrase. If you've got anything left to say, or are you
Just
very quickly?
Everyone be happy.
Everyone be happy.
Everyone try and enjoy
Any
their
advice
lives.
for the people listening? You know how Chip does his like nuggets of advice?
Don't
Yeah.
take advice from Ramsay.
No,
Or take maybe.
Or give us a quote.
Well, like, do you
give
know
us a
what?
quote.
On the philosophy side of it.
Sign
give us
out
more.
first, then let Ramsay end off with a quote or a.
I kind of want to
bit of
hear the
advice.
quote and then give my own
Yeah.
thoughts on it.
no, you sign out.
No.
Yeah, no. And
No,
we'll cut,
quote
we'll cut at the
end.
end of Ramsay's
Yeah.
quote.
Oh, Jesus. Right, okay. Well, signing off. I don't like this. I don't know what he's going to say. Yeah, thank you for listening. Please rate on Spotify, follow our Instagram. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, share to your friends, make sure they all listen. Tell them that Musish is really good.
Because it is.
Listen to Different Class, listen to Kid A, listen to All in Good Sport. Don't listen to Div and Get Started. I've been Gav.
I've been Ramsay.
Up in Krish.
Go on, Anne.
Lemons grow on trees. Potatoes grow in the ground.